Hey friends, Dustin here. You're watching the Life of Lynn channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And a big shout out to Simply Safe for sponsoring today's episode. But more on that in a little bit. Today we're jumping right in to making this new shop powered by wood burning heat, solar, and wind energy. So let's get to it. This shop, you guys already know, has a sweet wood stove over there. Gives us quite a bit of heat. Now we're going to add a 400 watt wind generator to it. Yes, I know, I bought the cheapest one on Amazon. I'm only giving that a try. The solar panels are good from a company called Renogy. I've been using them for years and years and years, putting them on campers and trailers, tiny homes, everything. And make a really high quality solar product. And I've got 10, 12 of those panels to go up. So that'll be 1,200 watts in solar, combined with maybe 400 watts on the wind generator. I don't think it'll actually produce that much. But the wind blows pretty hard out here, so maybe it will. It'll probably fail within a year. But we're going to try it out anyway. So that's what's going on today. We're going to go outside and dig some holes. Show you what I got going on. Friends, family, countrymen from other countries. That's all you guys, by the way. The shop is coming along swimmingly, and I can't wait to get this solar system installed. And with that, we are adding more things inside the shop. There's a lot of stuff in here now. You know, there's agricultural equipment, you know, for planting seeds. There's, well, that's not very important, is it? Homemade campers? Lumber, that's like $1 million. Tires, that's $2 million there. Those got to be worth something. I mean, the fish on the wall, that's worth something. Haley's Comet, the motorcycle, the drum set, the tools. Guys, it is very important to me that I have Simply Safe here at my shop and at my house. Even though we're very rural, things happen out here. And I got to tell you, Simply Safe has been there to save me and back me up all the way. Love the guys over at Simply Safe. They've been helping protect my home, homestead, and the shop. The system's super easy to set up. It took me maybe 30 minutes to install everything I needed. That includes the cameras and linking everything. I got to tell you, with the solar setup, kind of reminded me to tell you guys that the Simply Safe command center, the little blinky lighty thing, yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that's the one. That thing has battery backup with a cellular antenna in it. So even if your power goes down, your system's still working. It can still contact the Simply Safe team and let them know what's going on. Speaking of what it can contact with, it's hooked up to my outdoor cameras. See? I love the outdoor camera. It's super easy to set up. Pop a screw in somewhere, hang that sucker up right on the side of your house or wherever you want to put it. Anywhere you need it. It's Wi-Fi, it's wireless. It's got a lithium battery that can last up to 6 months. HD, night vision. It's got a light. You can talk through it. It's got a microphone. You can hear the people responding back to you talking to them. And the guys over at Simply Safe are monitoring it 24/7, even when you're not. You can even record footage, go back, look and see what's going on. And not only does it have the security system with all the door sensors, window sensors, glass break sensors, etc. The guys over at Simply Safe also offer really awesome things like carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors that hook up to the system. So if you guys get a fire or something and you're not home, it can actually send a message over to the Simply Safe team and they will get a hold of you or the authorities right away. Guys, head on over to the simplysafe.com/lifeoflynn where you can save 20% on your security system when you sign up for your interactive monitoring service, and you'll get your first month free. So remember again, that's simplysafe.com/lifeoflynn to learn more. Now, let's get back to this solar setup. Spring is just barely springing up out here. A little bit of green in the grass. We haven't had a serious rain since September of last year. I don't know. Long time ago. Show you what I got started. Kind of started on this project here a few weeks ago. But putting up solar panels and the wind just ain't gonna happen. I got 3 posts in. We're gonna do our solar array right here, facing this beautiful empty field, because I'm gonna have a lot of sun energy right here. Probably gonna try to make it adjustable so I can change the pitch throughout the year. I did have 4 holes drilled, but the ground was a little bit frozen, and my 4th hole ended up walking on me and being more over here where I needed to be here. So we're gonna drill a new hole today, finish getting this all set up, get our posts lined up and run some cross beams across here, start mounting solar panels, and then I think I'm gonna drill a hole back here somewhere for this giant steel pipe I found. Don't know what that was for, but I do think that's gonna work just fine for our wind turbine. Let's go get the tractor. I love tractor time. Well, friends, there's even more of a delay on getting these videos out to you. It's actually been about a week since we left off just a few seconds ago. The whole family came down with the sickness. Not anything specific, the stomach flu, really. And, well, we all took our turns laying on the bathroom floor. And I ended up with a real nice head cold, so doing good. Love these temperature swings. It's springtime, but I am back in the shop today. Working on projects and bringing you guys videos. Look, my bracket showed up for the solar panels. So I guess that's a good thing that I was sick for another week. Working on a couple videos for you guys. So hopefully I'll be firing them all off in, a couple days apart. Let's get back to getting these solar panels on there. I got the wind generator all wired up and ready to be put on the top. Got the bus over here. I think I'm going to fire the bus up, back it right up to that tower for the wind generator and see if we can't stand on the roof of the bus and set that thing. It's probably still not tall enough. Either way, we're going to try to figure it out today. Let's get back into it. Let's get these panels on and wired up. Well, I was getting ready to do some pretty sketchy stuff. Got the bus and the ladder, the tractor, and our pole. I had a ladder on the roof. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it started getting breezy. Of course, it's getting too windy to complete the wind tower project today. Go figure. Wow, look at the sky. Quite epic. So, I'm gonna have to put a pause on that until the wind calms down, which might be another day or two. Good news, everybody. Parts order showed up. These little guys tie all the panels together and use those MC4 connectors. That way you have a nice waterproof seal. Look at that, that slides in there.
got an O-ring on it, some locks. So this will run, all the negatives will be on one side, all the positives will be on the other. Now we're not running strictly everything in parallel, which is going to be positive, 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 and then negative, negative, negative. We're not doing that. We're going to up our voltage. That way our amperage is lower. That way we can run a smaller cable from the solar panels down to our battery bank, which will eventually be underneath this box here. I got 4 batteries right now. They're not great, but they're decent AGMs. So I'm gonna get 4 more. We're gonna do 24 volt system. Only some of these are gonna be run in parallel, and then some of them are gonna be series. And what I mean by series is we're gonna have a couple of solar panels stringed together, positive, 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 and then all of a sudden it's gonna go over and jump into like a negative somewhere. You know, it won't be like this, but pretend. And what that does is that keeps the amperage of the panels that are all tied together, positive to positive, at that level, but then it doubles your voltage coming off the panels. So higher voltage, lower amperage. Let's go take a look at the panels. I did get those up. Been windy like crazy.
Also, guys, if you haven't checked out my previous episode on the yacht staying, which a lot of you subscribers have said is one of my best episodes ever, because it's creative and fun, go check it out, because nobody's watching it for some reason. I don't know what YouTube's doing. They're just like, hey, we didn't post for a couple weeks because you were sick or whatever. Let's make sure nobody knows that you're posting any new videos. Not great. Not ideal. So if you're watching this one and you haven't seen the yacht staying, the world's first sailing Ford Mustang, go check it out. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider it. Back to these solar panels.
12 100 watt panels, that's 1.2 kilowatts, plus our 400 watt wind turbine will be up there, feeding into the shop. Show you all the connections I got back here. All hanging out, ready to go. So we're gonna tie these together real quick.
All right, bringing you underneath the solar panels in this beautiful 90-degree day. It's supposed to be 32 degrees in 2 days. I don't understand it.
Anyway, here's our panel set up. As opposed to going to the whiteboard and trying to explain how this works,
I am just gonna show you, because that's how I do things. Now, it looks like a mess, but it's really not too bad. So I've decided to jump 3 panels together in series, and then they'll jump over in parallel to the 3 panels next to them, and then it just keeps going down the line here. So let's just pretend, for all intents and purposes, that each panel produces 20 volts exactly when the sun's on it. Just to explain it easier. 20, 40, 60. 60 volts out of 3 panels. Now, since we're upping the voltage by going positive to negative, they're not upping the current or the amperage. So let's just pretend that each panel produces 5 amps. So 5 amps, 5 amps, 5 amps. So you still have, what you come out with here is 5 amps at 60 volts. Now, we did that 4 times with 3 panels. So there's a set, then up here is another set, over here another set, down there another set of 3. So we have 4 sets of 3 panels. Now all those are wired the same way as that first one I showed you, and then we start to jumper them together, wiring them in parallel, which is positive to positive. See that? So this section of 6 panels comes together here. So what happens there? Still at 60 volts, still at 60 volts, but now we're doubling our current. Our current, instead of 5 amps, is now 10 amps. So then we come down here, and we come down to the next set. These things are wired exactly the same, positive, negative for 3. This set all comes together. Here's the negative from the first string. Those come together there, and those come together there. So then we have another set of panels that are 10 amps, 60 volts. Then we connect both of these together. So we should have just around 60 volts
and just around 40 amps coming from these two connectors right here. So that's our positive and negative coming off of our whole solar array, and that's what's going to go to our charge controller. Now this system is going to max out the charge controller I have. It's an older one, but I had it, didn't have to buy a new one, so we're going to use it until she's done. We should have about 60 volts. Yep, 62 DC volts. Now my little multimeter here cannot go above 10 amps, so we can't see what the amperage is here, but it should be right at the 40 amps, which is our max. So she's all wired up. This cabling, good stuff. 10 gauge, UV protected, and it's able to be buried. Designed specifically for doing solar systems, and you can make your connections that work really nice on this. So I don't even need to run conduit. I'm going to dig this a little bit deeper by hand, shoot the cable across there, up the wall and in, have a little piece of conduit hanging off the side. I've got our old Renogy tracer. This is going to be our solar charge controller. Not a bad unit, capable of handling 40 amps. I need more batteries so I can complete my battery setup here, but I don't have them right now, and I do want to get this set up. And you always got to hook up your charge controller before you hook up your solar to it, otherwise it'll fry it. You don't want that. So I'm going to take these 4 batteries, pair them off. So this will be a group of 2, this will be a group of 2, and then we're going to go positive and negative and jumper them like that. That'll get us a 24 volt battery bank with what we got. We'll hook up our solar charge controller, run those wires in here, get this bad boy fired up with the stuff we have on hand. All right, there we go. Series parallel, 2 banks with 24 volts. So everything's all hooked up now. Just hooked up the old MT5 meter. We salvaged this out of one of the tiny houses that's here because it got an upgraded solar system this last year. And yeah, apparently this doesn't work anymore. So no big deal. I just don't know anything that's going on because this solar charge controller, very basic, just has lights on it. So that's not gonna help too much. But yep, running 24 volts now. It's gotta get us a much bigger pure sine wave inverter, something that'll run on a 24 volt battery bank, something that makes a lot more than 1,000 watts. So the one I'm looking at is 4,000 watts with a 12,000 watt surge on it. And it's twin phase. So we're gonna have 2 legs of 120 volt coming off of it. Be capable of powering all the things, even the air compressor, which will be real awesome. But all the lights, the boombox, all the good stuff will be powered by it. Well, guys, that's going to do it for me for today. Solar system's installed. Got a few little things we got to do. We're upgrading that battery bank. Need a lot more bigger batteries, way more bigger. More of them, and they're bigger. That's what I'm getting at with that. That solar charge controller is pretty old. We're going to see what it'll do for now because that sucker is maxed out. Our little monitor for that solar charge controller, dead. We're going to have to get a new one of those if we keep this solar charge controller. Wind turbine right here. Guess what? Still too windy to put that up because the super sketchy way that I have to put that up is a bus with a ladder on top of it with me on the top step doing this. Yeah, so I need no wind in order to do that. And, well, since I've been sick, as you guys seen in the last episode, we just don't have time to hold off on these episodes anymore. We got to get rocking and rolling. So guess what? Solar's in. Shop's pretty much done. We got parts coming for stuff. It's looking good. So we're going to get this thing all finished up. I'm going to post this video, and we're going to get on to the next project. Guys, I do appreciate you watching these videos. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. Hit the like button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how things are going. And what do you think of the new solar setup? I know it ain't perfect, but I'm working with what I got here. Those panels are relatively cheap. I already have the solar charge controller and the wiring here. And 1.2 kilowatts is not a joke. It's not huge, but that's enough to power basic needs in the shop here. I mean, all my lighting on at once, which is all the way around this thing, is about 900 watts, which is a bit. But this system should be able to power the lights. And if I don't have the lights on all the time, I got a battery bank to store that energy up. Then, you know, we're going to be running air compressors and all kinds of stuff off that thing. Plus, it's going to be a backup.
Blackouts aren't no joke, guys. They can happen. Look at Texas, just 2 years ago? Or look up there in the New York area. What was that, the early 2000s when they had their big blackout? Lasted for several days. Be nice to have some extra juice on hand, so you guys should consider getting some solar. That's my word of wisdom for the day. Thank you guys again for watching so much. I do appreciate it. And another big shout out to Simply Safe for sponsoring today's episode. Again, go to simplysafe.com/Life of Lind. You guys can learn more and get 20% off right there. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.